What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now this is the 14. This is episode 44, not 14. Although, to be fair, it could be 14 with the amount of numbers I think I've actually skipped. This is episode 44, possibly. I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a whole lot of things on the docket to get to today, including another will they or won't they. We're also going to be talking about who should be the one to dethrone Becky Lynch. Should Takeshita dethrone Okada or Saber Jr. or possibly both? Who should dethrone Athena? Should it be Sareee? Should it be Windsor? Could it be somebody else possibly? WWE running back the Bloodline storyline. And what is the best storyline in wrestling right now? But before we get into all that though, whether you listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts at, like, follow, share, rate, subscribe, all that freaking good stuff that you can actually do. Yeah. And also shout out to every one of you beautiful Patreon subs as well. And if you're wondering where I have been, I've been kind of a little bit busy. I'm actually now on Twitch as well, so we're doing a lot of fun things over there. We're doing the John Cena retirement tour right now, playing through that whole entire thing. Our like little computer WWE 2K version, whatever. Yada yada. With a little bit of storyline in there as well. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of other things too. Got a whole bunch of other WWE 2K games. So if you do want to come check us out, twitch.tv/AshWayne1. It'll be in the description as well for all of these. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this will they or won't they. Starting off with the biggest one. Number one, will AEW regress without its top male stars? This has been a pretty big talking point around a lot of community, around the AEW community. Well, I guess around the wrestling community as of recent, with a lot of guys going out, like Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, Jay White's been out for a long time. You're having Cope go out now. You have MJF going out, and somebody else recently went out that I can't actually think of, but you do have a few guys coming back as well, like Pac and Orange Cassidy, who have officially made their returns. So it's interesting around AEW right now, I will say, because this past Wednesday, we did learn that we're going to be having Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, and I'm going to be real with you, there's no real reasoning to even have this match. I made a whole entire TikTok about it, how I'm just completely confused on why this match is even being had. First, Samoa Joe was mad at the fact that he thought Hangman wasn't really on their side. Then he said he needs to bring back that old Joe because he feel like he hasn't been that old Joe anymore, which is odd because he literally has been. And then he said like it's because of the fact that Hangman's never beat him as well. So there's a lot of like weirdness with this storyline that I feel like is just kind of thrown together to give us a great match. And it feels like AEW is kind of slowly going into that direction again, where it's like, okay, we don't have our top guys. We don't know when we're going to be able to possibly get MJF back. Maybe we have like a little timeline of when he when he could come back, but we're not exactly sure when exactly that will be. Maybe he does come back in December. Maybe this is like just like a little one-off thing, or not even December, but like November, and this is like a one-off thing to do at Wrestle Dream just to have something there for Hangman. That could be the case. But it's like, it feels like they're going back to that. Let's just wrestle. Let's just wrestle. Our fans love great wrestling. Hangman Samoa Joe is going to be a great wrestling match, even if it's not like the greatest story in the world. But I'm also kind of confused on the fact that, like, is he turning? Is this like a heel turn? Because, I mean, he kind of got into it with Powerhouse Hobbs. You don't have Katsuyori Shibata there, so you really can't even beat trios. If you remove Samoa, though, from the group, I better not see Powerhouse Hobbs walking around with that goddamn belt. I mean, I ain't going to be mad about it now, because shout out to my guy, Powerhouse Hobbs, for having a belt just because. But it's just like, I mean, I don't even know what they're doing with the ops right now, or also known as the opportunity, as Samoa Joe suggested. Look, another dumb thing Samoa Joe said. Oh my goodness, man. I don't really get that. And then on the other side of things, it's like, okay, you are really heavily relying on the rest of like your card to kind of get it done on your men's side of things, but Kyle Fletcher doesn't really have much of anything going on right now. I mean, you did bring back, well, no, you had Kyle Fletcher having a match with Mark Briscoe supposed to get set up, then that didn't happen for some odd reason, even though he should have gotten the match. So you don't have that happen. No, he lost the match to Takeshita, so never mind. Oh yeah, because MJF got involved. So it's like you were setting up that, but you don't do that. Then you have I think it was Commander, and then we're setting up Hologram, but then Hologram gets attacked, and then we find out that it's by Kyle Fletcher, and then hologram pops back up, and it's actually El Clone, and then we're now adding El Clone to the Don Callis family, so it's another person in the damn family. So then you have Kyle Fletcher now kind of just going up against Orange Cassidy, but now he's kind of like just doing basically whatever, right? And then not really much going on at the moment. It's not anything like solid. It's just a bunch of great matches, and it's like it's fine, but I feel like you want to really give Kyle Fletcher like a defining moment in his run, like a defining story, because like contrary to popular belief, if you have great in-ring work but there's not really any great stories there, it's just fine. And it's the same thing in reverse. If you have great stories but just fine in-ring work, well, then the result is just fine. Like, you need both. Both go hand in hand. I know both sides of these communities love fighting with each other because AEW is the wrestling community, or the rest of the AEW community is all about wrestling. And I guess all the rest of the world besides WWE is all about wrestling, and WWE is all about stories. But no, you need both. If you don't have both, you won't have an elite lifetime, or not lifetime, like you won't have like an iconic match. You want something that we just remember for years upon years. You need both. And I feel like with Kyle Fletcher right now, he doesn't really have much of that. Then you look at Okada, and it's like he has the great story, but are we going to get a great match with him? Because it's Okada. You just never know with this guy if he's going to give you a great match or not. you really never know. And it's like, with Okada, we're going to get to in a little bit, but like if Okada doesn't get dethroned by Takeshita, who the hell dethrones him? Who? There's no top guys there to dethrone him. And like, maybe you could be like, okay, well, we don't have to have the top guy to dethrone him. But it's like, it's also your new belt, and it's coming off of Okada, who hasn't really done much with it. So you want to put it on somebody that's at least recognizable, that can add some star power to this belt. Because like, if you put it on somebody like, I don't know, let's just throw a name out there, Orange Cassidy. You put it on an Orange Cassidy. What does that really do for the belt? Because I like Orange Cassidy, but like, is he adding anything to the belt other than just being a workhorse? Like that's really it. I mean, he has connections to the international belt because he's held it before, but it's like, I mean, okay, I guess I don't really know. But then again, you also have to ask the question of, well, what is AEW trying to do with this unified belt? Is it a mid-card belt? Is it a world title belt? They still haven't really specified that at all. We just know that it's international and continental combined. We're not, well, and both those are mid-card belts, but we're not sure if it's still staying a mid-card belt because of all these dang reports that have come out about it possibly being counted as like a world title. So nobody's sure on that freaking belt. So I think right now it's a lot of the men's side of things looks very odd, lacks a lot of great stories, and is more or less just kind of there. It's kind of just there, and I've said before and I'll say it again. If you're going to have a great company, you need to have great women wrestling and great men wrestling. Despite what all the incels on the internet believe, people love women's wrestling, and people also love men's wrestling. They want to see both of them be great because they're going to be on the show. I don't want to watch boring women wrestling. Like if there's boring women wrestling, I'm probably not going to be as tapped into your show. Same thing, vice versa with the men. And so it's like, I think AEW really missed the mark with Kyle Fletcher getting that world title. I think he should have gotten it off of Hangman. I really believe he should have, because Hangman didn't need to hold this belt for a long time. And I'm like kind of worried that they're going to give him a Cody Rhodes type run where he holds the belt for like damn near a year. And it's just like, okay, what are we doing here? He doesn't need to hold the belt this long because he's going to be getting back into the same kind of things where he's either feuding with the Death Riders, feuding with the Don Callis family, feuding with the Death Riders, feuding with the Don Callis family, feuding with some random person just like a one-off thing that doesn't really have much story, feuding with the Death Riders, feuding with the Don Callis family. And it's just going to get boring. That's why I think it would have been much better to just have Kyle Fletcher get the belt off of him at, All Out, and kind of give him the Seth Rollins treatment where he was a double champion and just see how it goes. I think it could go really good with Kyle Fletcher. I think he could be a guy because he's becoming more and more of a star. The wrestling world absolutely loves the dude. I think you could have just said, screw it, let's take the risk. And if it doesn't work, just take one of the belts off of him. If he can't be a double champion because of whatever reason, if it's just too much onto him, if it's not, good for both of your divisions, just take one of the belts off of him. That's all you got to do. Put him in a triple threat, have him lose a belt like that. Don't ever go after the belt again because you already have the world title anyways. So why would you care about going after the TNT championship? I think it's that. I think it would have been that simple. And I think right now, especially, it's weird because a lot of your guys that are actually out are all faces, and Swerve, Will, Jay, yeah. So it's like a lot of your faces are out, not your heels, but you're kind of having a problem with finding heels, mainly because they're all tied to one freaking faction in the Don Callis family. I think that's also hurting as well. That's kind of the reason why I would put it on Kyle Fletcher, because if you put it on any other face, they got to deal with the Don Callis family. If you put it on anybody, if you put it on any heels though, that are at least tied to the Don Callis family, they go and fight other faces. Now you could have Kyle Fletcher, the world champion, fighting an Orange Cassidy, fighting an Eddie Kingston, fighting a who am I thinking of? A Mark Briscoe, fighting a Commander, fighting a Hologram, etc., etc., etc. But now you can't really do that because it's just a face and Hangman fighting the same people over and over and over and over and over again. So I think in terms of will AEW regress without its top stars, 1,000% yes. It's going to regress. I don't think the product is going to look as entertaining as it did from like January to about July, when it looked really, really damn good. It was looking elite, looking borderline perfect in my opinion, because the women's division was thriving, the men's division was thriving, the mid-card was really good, the tag team was really good. Now it's kind of getting into that area where you're really going to have to rely on your women's stars, and AEW has been doing just that in my opinion. Like I think over these past 2 weeks, most of the Dynamites and Collisions has mainly just been the women in the main event. And then you have a lot of stuff going on right now with the Triangle of Madness starting to heat up, Women's Blood and Guts. You still ain't even really showing us much women's tag teams, even though you introduced the goddamn women's tag belts. I don't really get that, but okay, I guess. I am. I don't. Oh my God, man! How the hell do you introduce women's tag belts, but you don't even give us a possible date as to when the tournament is going to happen or when something's going to happen for it? I don't understand that. It feels so stupid. Oh man. Sometimes Tony Khan be doing things a little too early. That's why I said the women's tag belt should have been announced way later, like when you have a date for the tournament and all that. And we still haven't had a women's tag match since. Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, no, I think AEW definitely will regress over these next couple of months. Unless these women just go absolutely batshit crazy over these next couple of months, and even then I think it's still gonna be a thing. There's a possibility though, like Hurt Syndicate and the Demand can keep going really good right now because I think they're amazing right now. Bro Dito can keep being fire. Jungle Express, Jurassic Express, and the Young Bucks kind of feud can be really damn good. So there is a lot of things there that could at least keep it afloat on the main side of things, but it's definitely gonna have a very obvious regression to it, in my opinion. Now, speaking of regression, I cannot believe this is already Well, I mean, damn, has it even regressed? It's just been kind of ass. Will the women's U.S. title get scrapped? Oh my God, Ash, the women's U.S. title just barely got introduced in December. How the hell could it already get scrapped? I made a TikTok video on this. It hasn't had a freaking match at a PLE. There has not been one women's U.S. title match at a PLE this entire year. It started in December. I'm not counting Saturday Night's Main Event. Sorry, it's not a PLE in my opinion. Even though I guess technically speaking it is a premium. It's more like a special of live events. Premium special, basically the same thing though. But it's like I'm not counting Saturday Night's Main Event though. It hasn't been defended on the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash. What was that other one that happened earlier this year? Wherever the hell they were fighting at. I forgot what the hell it's called. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Night of Matches, Clash in Paris, WrestlePalooza. It's not gonna be at Crown Jewel. I can guarantee you this right now. It's not being at Survivor Series. So all of 2025, the women's U.S. title will not have been defended on a PLE once. Every other belt on the roster has been defended on a PLE at least once this year. Raw, SmackDown tag titles, have been defended at the WrestleMania. SmackDown tag titles were defended at SummerSlam. Obviously, I'm not going to name off the WWE Women's and Men's Championships because those have all been defended on multiple PLEs. The IC title has been defended on multiple PLEs. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. US title was defended at SummerSlam as well, and then I think somewhere else to think. Oh, Night of Champions. Or Night of Matches, my bad. Night of Matches. And then the women's IC title has been defended at Money in the Bank, Backlash, I want to say, and Evolution. Oh, no, wait, no. It was, no, Money in the Bank, Evolution, I think SummerSlam. Yeah, SummerSlam. So it's been defended at those places. The women's US title couldn't even get defended at Evolution, but the NXT women's title was. And then the women's tag titles have been defended at SummerSlam and Evolution as well, unlike the women's US title. So it's not crazy to say that this belt could get scrapped, because I'm going to go further with this. It's not getting defended at the Royal Rumble. I can guarantee you that right now. It's not getting defended at Elimination Chamber. I can guarantee you that right now. It's likely not getting defended at the WrestleMania either, because WrestleMania usually has 4 women's matches, and it's going to have the 2 top women's matches. Likely have an IC title match if we are having Becky versus AJ Lee there. That'll likely happen there. If not, it could be like AJ Lee, Roxanne, or just something with the IC title. Likely having the women's tag title be defended, especially because of how big Charlotte and Alexa have been. Or they're having like their big old freaking breakup match there, Charlotte versus Alexa. So those 4 titles are likely going to, those 4 titles or matches will likely be happening there. So yeah, I don't think it makes WrestleMania. And then with the fact that it's usually 1 to maybe 2 women's matches a PLE, I think the next time it could possibly get defended at a PLE is at Evolution, if they even have it in 2026. But then again, it might not even get defended there. It might not, because it's both the women's world titles, it's the Battle Royale, it's the women's tag titles, it's the NXT title, so that's already 5 matches. The next 2 are either going to be the women's IC title and the women's US title, or the women's IC title, because that's looked a lot better, and if it's AJ Lee, it definitely will be AJ Lee defending there, and then either some big-time feud, or it's the women's US title. Which, mind you, love both of these women, obviously. Naomi and Jade had a match there with no title on the line, but the U.S. women's title couldn't get defended there. So I'm telling y'all, man, I promise y'all when I say this, this women's U.S. title might never touch a PLE. I am so for real on that. And I know someone's going to say, but what if Blake Monroe gets called up? But what if Jordynne Grace gets called up? Cool. Tiffany Stratton is super damn hot right now, and the only times that she's defended her belt at a PLE are WrestleMania. It wasn't Backlash. No, it wasn't Backlash. It wasn't Money in the Bank. What Evolution. Wasn't Night of Matches. SummerSlam. That's it. There has been Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Backlash, some other PLE, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Night of Matches, Crown, the Crown Jewel. I'm not going to count Crown Jewel. Clash in Paris, and WrestlePalooza. 10 total PLEs. And Tiffany Stratton has only defended the belt on 3. So what makes you think Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace, who aren't as popular as Tiffany Stratton, would get on a PLE if she can barely even get on them? Mind you, Julia came in the same way Jordynne Grace came in, the same way Blake Monroe came in, with a whole lot of fire. Now, they've had a big feud, so that kind of might help them a bit more, have like a bit more popularity, but came in with a whole lot of fire, high marquee free agent and all that stuff. And she has basically just been watered down to a puddle of despair and depression and sadness. And what the fuckery are we doing with this awesome, amazing wrestler? So, if that could happen to Julia, I'm just saying it could happen to Blake Monroe or Jordynne Grace. Because check this. Real wrestling fans, us real grapplers and all that stuff, we're going to love both these women, especially Blake Monroe. We're going to love her. Absolutely awesome. Julia is a real grappler. Julia's got the look. And she still gets treated like crap. Tiffany Stratton is likely going to continue to be hot next year. So even if Blake or Jordynne Grace come up, do they get over Tiffany Stratton? She's pulling out the world champion around that time, so there's that. Maybe she had the U.S. title around that time, and then maybe we get like Tiffany versus Blake or Tiffany versus Jordan. But, I mean, isn't Tiffany and Blake going to be just Tiffany and Charlotte? I guess to me, though, that's what's going to be, and then to the world, they're not even going to care. They'll just be all happy about it because there's two freaking blondes that look just alike fighting each other like how they were with Tiffany and Charlotte, even though I didn't even want the feud, to be honest. And isn't Tiffany and Jordan going to be the same thing as Jordan and Blake? But then again, no one's going to care, yada, yada. So maybe these matches could end up getting a PLE. But that's if Tiffany gets the belt, or if Tiffany goes after them. If we don't get that, I guarantee you, by the end of 2026, the belt is not touching a damn PLE, and I could very well see WWE scrapping the belt and saying, let's just have the one women's mid-card belt so we can have all of our women's mid-card, so we can have like our Raw and SmackDown women's mid-card come together, and that we don't have to have the same matches every single time. Then we can have our top women all going after the two top belts, the WWE Women's Championship, the Women's Raw Championship. I could very much so see that happening. So I'm going to say, I think this belt gets scrapped. I think this U.S. Women's title was an absolute failure, and it's going to get scrapped. Now, am I surprised at the U.S. title? No, actually, I am a little surprised. How the fuck is it that... How is it that WWE is so mega? Look at Lord Trump. Loving that man. Absolutely MAGA to a T. I guess to an MAGA. How are you this MAGA and you don't respect the U.S. title? Huh? I guess then again, the men's U.S. title is getting treated a lot better than the men's IC title right now, so there is that. But the women's U.S. title is being treated like hot dog water. How does this happen? How are you so? Maybe it's just because the women. I guess it's what it is, man. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because women got the belt, man. Maybe if it was somebody else that had the belt, it'd be a little different. I don't know, man. Maybe if Roman Reigns went down and grabbed that women's U.S. belt, it'd be a lot different. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know, but I think this belt gets scrapped by the end of 2026, and they say, let's just go with the one woman's mid-card belt, which is what I thought they probably should have done from the beginning, just because, like, I think it'd be a bit easier, or scrapping the tag belts, one of the two, and then have the two mid-card belts, because I just think there's not enough women for the divisions, and if that's going to keep being the case, then what's going to happen next year? Let's say Bianca Belair gets the belt off of Tiffany Stratton, because I'll make a video on that. It's not even podcast worthy, so let's make a video on it. Check the YouTube shorts in a couple of days for that video, for the Bianca Belair video of when exactly she'll dethrone Tiffany Stratton. But if it is Bianca Belair that dethrones Tiffany Stratton, she's gonna need competitors, and Blake Monroe is gonna be a big time heel for her. Jordynne Grace will be just a great match for her. Eventually, Julia could be a great competitor for her as well. Tiffany Stratton's also going to be someone that's there too. Naya's going to be someone that's there. So it's like the women's world title scene is going to need big matches. And I don't think they're going to give that many of the world title scene wrestlers to the mid-card wrestlers. And I think the U.S. title is going to continue to be just as bad next year as it has been this year. Maybe Chelsea Green gets it back and she goes even more fuego and she gets like even whiter hot. I don't know, man. But then again, she was already white hot and they still didn't put her on the damn PLE defending that belt. So who the hell knows? But what I do know, though, is speaking of mid-carders, we got to talk about, well, John Cena, the never seen 16, soon to be 17 time. Well, actually, no, wait, that's from my Twitch stuff. He already is a 17-time world champion. And so are we on twitch.tv/Ashwayne1, man. We finally got that goddamn world title. But will John Cena retire as a Grand Slam champion? Now, I think he has about 4 dates left, because I know he has the Saturday Night's Main Event in December. He has Survivor Series, and I think he has 2 dates in November, which I'm assuming are going to be leading up to whatever this final match is, or even like a War Games match, one of the two. I would love to see John Cena in War Games. I hope that we do get to see him there. Maybe he has like 2 matches that day. It'd be pretty cool too. But it's going to be interesting because right now it's looking like Dom doesn't really need the belt anymore. Like I think the U.S. title on Dom, like he looks great with the belt. Don't get me wrong. But it's like they're just kind of doing whatever with him, and they're having him defend it on a lot of just random Monday Night Raws, and he do have the Raw in Boston still. That Raw is still coming up, And with now John Cena having an AJ Styles match, I think somebody's getting involved in this match, whether it's Dominic Mysterio or the El Grandes, one of the two. I think this leads to John Cena getting the IC title match against Dominic Mysterio. I think what we're going to see is John Cena and AJ Styles will happen at Crown Jewel, obviously. I think Dom gets involved. It's Dom or the El Grandes, one of the two. And I think this leads to like a tag team match of John Cena, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, John Cena, AJ Styles, maybe Penta and Dragon Lee as well, versus Dom and all the El Grandes, which is going to look really funny. And then I think that could end up leading to John Cena pinning Dominic Mysterio, then getting an IC title match the following Monday Night Raw, or whenever the next Monday Night Raw is in Boston, Massachusetts, to be able to get the IC title there. And then I think he holds that until the end of the year, where I could see him dropping the belt to somebody to put over other talent. So I'm going to say that I think John Cena will be a Grand Slam champion by the time that he retires. It would be interesting to see who he drops the belt to, because obviously there's a lot of talks of Obafemi going to SmackDown. Obviously, if he goes to SmackDown, he gets the belt off of Sami Zayn, most likely. So if he goes there, gets the belt, then it's like, well, who gets it on Raw? Obviously, you have Braun Breaker, you have Bronson Reed, and then it's kind of like where things kind of stagger at is you have these two guys who could get the belt, but I don't know if they're ever going to get a dang belt, because Judgment Day still has these stupid freaking tag belts. So it's like, I don't know, to be honest, what happens with them. Maybe one of them gets a belt, maybe one of them doesn't. I don't know, man. WWE is in a weird position right now with the Seth Riders. But it's like you have those two guys. Maybe a returning Chad Gable. I wouldn't mind Chad Gable versus John Cena, but I feel like you want to put over somebody young. You want to put over somebody young that really, really needs the belt to define their career, and I really needs that defining win over John Cena, which it could be an Obafemi. I think Obafemi going over John Cena would be a very, very good match. I mean, not a very good match. A very good thing for John. Well, no, a very good match for sure. I would be surprised if, even though John Cena is like 48 years old, he couldn't have an elite match with Obafemi. Could also be a world where Obafemi just squashes John Cena as well too. So, I mean, hey, if that other guy could do it, I would see no reason why Obafemi can't do it. So it's like, I think Obafemi could be the guy to get the belt off of him. It's just going to be interesting as to where Sami Zayn goes with the belt. Like, who does he drop the belt to? There is, obviously, you could drop it back to the Bloodline if you really want to. Not the Bloodline as like the Bloodline, but the Bloodline as like the MFT Bloodline. You could drop it off to them, although, please don't. I'm kind of tired of seeing all these damn Bloodlines, man. Goodness gracious, bro. It's too many of them running around everywhere. So it's like, I don't really know, but I do think it's going to happen. I think John Cena gets the IC title at some point in time. Just dropping it to the next person is where I'm a bit confused on, because if he's dropping it to Gunther, like, we're going to put the IC title back on Gunther again? Really? I don't think he needs the belts. I mean, he could also be like a great mid-carder, but he's already probably like one of the greatest mid-carder there is. I guess getting more belts is always fine, but it's like, if I compare his run to like Chris Jericho, Miz, Christian, Kofi Kingston, it's like I like Gunther's run a lot more than I like their singular runs. Obviously, I think they are the more accomplished IC champions, but it's like, I mean, my guy, you're looking at Gunther's run, and it's freaking elite. It's freaking elite. So it's like, I don't know. But Gunther is the one that they believe is going to get the belt, or is going to get the last match with John Cena. So I guess maybe it would be an IC title match to kind of like assert his dominance as, like, once again, the best Intercontinental Champion of all time. And then he passes it off to another guy afterward. Maybe passes it off to like well, it won't be a Ludwig. I can say that right now, because they're not going to pick the right guy to go over, Gunther. They're going to pick the other guy that doesn't really need the win. But whatever. But speaking of somebody that needs a win, though, will Momo Watanabe dethrone Saya Kamitani? The match is being set up. Not sure exactly when it's going to be happening, but obviously Momo Watanabe, I gotta stop saying obviously all the time. It sounds like very like condescending. I don't know. It sounds like very condescending, like snarky or something like that. But Momo Watanabe did win the 5-star Grand Prix. For those of y'all that don't know, the 5-star Grand Prix is basically, think of it like King of the Ring. In a sense, I'm not gonna go into the whole freaking formatting of it and all that stuff. But you win, you know what? You win matches, you get points, yada yada yada, boom, 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 boom. Look at King of the Ring, okay? Yeah. Go through a whole entire tournament, and the person that comes out on top of the tournament, they get to go if it's a champion at their place of choosing. Again. Horrible description of what the freaking 5-star Grand Prix is, but if you really want to look it up, you can go look it up. Google is 100% free. I ain't here to give you definitions of every single thing in the whole damn world. If that didn't sound kind of snarky, I don't know what does. But Momo Watanabe basically won the Royal Rumble. There we go. She won the Elimination Chamber too. Money in the Bank. There we go. The Casino Gauntlet. Momo Watanabe won a tournament though to be able to face the Saya Kamitani for the World of Stardom Championship. Whatever she chooses, and it looked like that match is going to be getting set up because after Saya Kamitani versus Azumi, which is an absolutely elite match. It was Saya Kamitani versus Azumi for both their titles, the World of Stardom Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Now we're getting this match set up between Saya and Momo. Obviously, I gotta stop saying that. A lot of people have been wanting Momo Watanabe to get this belt. A lot of people have been saying that it's her time. She has a very good look to her, very great in ring, really good on the mic as well. Character is awesome. She has everything to really carry Stardom after Saya Kamitani if they do want to go with Momo. The question that a lot of people are saying, or not the question, the thing that a lot of people are bringing up though is that Saya Kamitani has taken Stardom to a whole new level that a lot of women have not been able to do. It is now getting eyes onto it and a lot of American eyes onto it. Something that hasn't happened before with it, even under the likes of Julia, of Io Sky, of a Mariah May when she was there, under the likes of a Kairi Sane when she was there. Heck, not even Saree's been able to do this. So a lot of these premier top of the line women have not been able to do what Saya has been able to do. It's become super popular. It's become even more popular in Japan. A lot of people are picking Stardom over New Japan right now. They're calling it the better product. They're saying that it looks just way, way better, which is the 100% truth. So it's like, do you take the belt off of Saya knowing how popular she is right now? That's where it's weird because it's like I really like both of these women. I think Momo and Saya are awesome. This match is going to kill it. It's going to be an amazing match. It's just, do you want to halt the momentum of Stardom by having Momo Watanabe get the belt and she can't be as big of a superstar as Saya? Not saying that she can't. Not saying that there's like no possibility of her doing that, because no, there is a possibility of her being as big of a star as Saya Kamitani. We didn't think that Saya was going to be this. If you look at early Saya compared to now, heck, even compared to like 2 years ago, we didn't think that Saya was going to get this dang hot. But after that Tom Nakano match, she really took it up to a whole new level and became an absolute superstar. Could this be the match for Momo Watanabe to become an absolute superstar? Could she have like an all-time classic match against Saya and the whole world now has eyes on Momo Watanabe and we're like, oh, we like you. You are a freaking star. I think it could happen. I just also would say I guess it was going to be this way either way, whether it was Saya or it was Azumi, because Momo was going to be able to challenge either one of them. So it's like, what I was going to basically say is that putting the belt or putting double champion on Saya, could that possibly deter them and not have Momo Watanabe win this match? Could they have Momo go do something else instead? Because there is the possibility of her going out to Sareee. Her and Sareee are 1-1 with each other. They have a really big rivalry with each other. Momo thinks that Sareee doesn't really need, that Stardom doesn't need Sareee. Saree's been talking bad about Momo being like the 4th or 5th in her own group, which eventually led to her getting the 5-star Grand Prix win. Now looking like she's 2nd in the group. You have Konami there as well, and a few others. Fugaki, I think her name is. I think they're actually in a trios. I think it's her, Rena, and someone else that are in like a trios. They have like the trios belts. The Artist of Stardom Tag Team Championship, I think it was like, I think so. I don't know, man. Those belts confuse me because I've seen 2 people hold them. I've seen 3 people hold them. I don't know. I don't even understand the tag rules, to be honest. I really, really don't. I've been trying to learn it as best I possibly can. But it's like, it's so odd, man, because on one hand, you don't want Momo to lose this match, do you? But on the other hand, if she's losing this match to get a Sareee match, that's different. Or if they say Momo Watanabe, or no, if they say, if they kind of like do like the Cody Rhodes thing, going into WrestleMania 40, where you have two possible choices you can go after: the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. For Momo Watanabe, it's like you have the World of Stardom Championship and the IWGP Women's World Championship. Maybe she could have two possible routes. Maybe Sareee continues to call her out more because she wants the match against her. It's like, what belt gets, valued more here? Does this help Stardom be able to have both belts look like their top belts? Although the IWGP Women's Championship isn't really connected to Stardom, I think. I don't know how that belt works. I'm like so confused with that belt every single time, because I think it's more connected to like the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, and the fact that like the New Japan Strong Women's Championship is kind of like a mid-card belt, and then you have the IWGP Women's World Championship, which is obviously the top belt, but it's like more connected to New Japan. I don't really know, to be honest, because Mercedes isn't signed to Stardom. She's signed to New Japan. So it's like, could anybody that's signed to New Japan get that belt? I don't. Who the hell knows? I don't know, man. I'm trying to learn all this stuff, just like a lot of y'all are probably trying to learn a lot of this stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where they decide to go with Momo. I would possibly say, man, because I really want Momo to get that belt. I really, really do. Saya's still going to be the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, and I think she's still going to be pretty dang big. It's just that obviously she would be knocked down a peg in her own group, because Momo's going to have the top belt. Does that eventually create friction between the group? Does it have Saya get kicked out of the group? Does it have I think that would probably be the best way, is to have Saya get kicked out of the group. But like, do you want to turn Saya back into a face? I don't know. Maybe you can have her be like more like a tweener if you really want to. I don't know. It'd be interesting. And I guess could that potentially be around where Saya's last match does happen? Does she have maybe like one or two more matches with Stardom, eventually drop the New Japan Strong Women's belt, and does she go off somewhere else? I don't know. There's no reports of Saya wanting to leave Stardom by any means. She's a freaking super duper mega star over there. I don't even know why you would want to leave. You're getting like queen treatment over there. So I don't know. Maybe Saya is one of the women that ends up being a lifer for Stardom. Maybe this is like their I don't want to say like it's their Stone Cold in the sense where like they finally get to where they were trying to get to, because they've been there for a while. They've had a lot of great years. Stardom has never really had bad years. But like this, I feel like this is like their first time hitting this where they're at now. Like they're getting on the cusp of being a mainstream thing, even though they kind of always have been. But I always felt like as if it was WWE, AEW, New Japan, that like the super mainstreams. And then I felt like Stardom was kind of like a notch below. No, I think the next would be like TNA, Ring of Honor, NXT. And I think like right below that is where you could say Stardom and CMLL and now Triple I. I think like Stardom like kind of like right there, which you gotta say is impressive for an all-women's company, by the way, because like this is you. I mean, I said it earlier. You need men's and women's to be elites, but Stardom's kind of showing no, you really don't. You could have it just be all women and be freaking elites. So it's like, I mean, mind you, they're doing something that not even WoW is doing. No offense to WoW, by the way. I love WoW too. I actually try to watch them as much as I can. But it's like, WoW is in America, and Americans aren't talking about WoW. We're talking about Stardom. Heck, we're talking about Eve before WoW. So it's like with Stardom, it's like you're getting into this area where it's like, dude, you're hitting mainstream. Do you? I don't know. But what I'm saying, like, with Saya is that I think she could kind of be what The Rock was. I mean, not The Rock. What Stone Cold was for WWE, to really take it to that next level, into that super duper mega mainstream level. I think Saya Kamitani could end up being that, which could result in her possibly being a Stardom lifer, which we could see then more Stardom lifers, because a lot of times, most of the women in Stardom, if they're popular enough, they're leaving. Io, Julia, Kairi, Mina Shirakawa, and then a lot of the foreign women that go there, like Toni Storm, Mariah May, Blair Davenport, Dakota Kai, a lot of them just leave. A lot of them just take their bags and leave because America starts calling, the AEW starts calling, WWE starts calling, TNA, Ring of Honor, NXT, somebody's calling. So it's like, I think this could be a very a very pivotal moment for Stardom, and that's, do you want to drop the belt from Saya when you just are about to hit what you've always been trying to hit? Or do you say, let's put it on Momo, because the fans absolutely love her? Stardom is about to hit its New Japan, where it's finally going to have a lot of its top stars stay for a long period of time, because New Japan's had a lot of people stay for a long period of time. Okada barely even left. Like his departure was basically towards the end of his like the end of his prime. So, and like Stardom, they don't really have that. A lot of them kind of leave when they're just hitting their primes, or when they're about to hit their, or when they're right in their prime and then they just dip. So it's gonna be interesting. But I'm gonna say Momo won't dethrone Saya. I'm going to say Momo won't dethrone Saya, and I think she's going to dethrone Sareee instead. I think that's what's going to happen. But for all these will they or won't they's, as always, let me know y'all opinions down below. And speaking of dethroning, let's go ahead and talk about Becky Lynch, man. Let's go ahead and talk about Big Time Bex, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And it's not just me saying it. It's not just SportsCenter saying it. It's not just Sports Illustrated saying it. It's not just, even the world saying it. It's the galaxy is saying it. The universe is saying it. The gods and the goddesses are saying it. Everybody that has ever existed has said that Becky Lynch is the greatest women's wrestler to touch this planet. That had it not been for her, wrestling just simply wouldn't even be a thing. But after tonight, she had an absolutely awesome match against Maxine Dupree. One, I'm pretty sure I had Maxine Dupree as one of my things last time. I think that was one of them. It should have been. It was one of them. I can't remember when the hell I talked about Maxine Dupree, but shit, shout out to Maxine Dupree, man, because I definitely will take back what I said. Now you can be a star. she already got the mic work. We gotta see how the character work looks. Character work is gonna be an interesting one, but the mic work's already there. I think she's bubbly. We gotta see how the charisma continues to work in the ring, but I think her mic work is really damn good, and her ring work. Oh my God, if she continues to look like that. If she continues to even, now obviously you're going up against Becky, elite competitor. So it's like, if you're able to give us at least most of, I thought that was a damn big ass spider on my wall at first. I was like, oh hell no, but I started running. What? You thought I was gonna fight the spider? Hell no. But I thought the spider was like this goddamn big. No, I'll be out of here today, right now, just cut it off. Cut it off. But yeah, if she can even give us just some of this, I think it's gonna look amazing. I think Maxine's gonna continue to look really, really amazing. She's gonna start showing that she needs to be taken a lot more seriously. And this is the ultimate underdog story right now. I made a whole video on it. Go check the YouTube short out. I talked about it, man. She could have the ultimate underdog story right now. She could literally go from the wrestler that the whole entire world thought that she should have been released, that she should have quit, that she was never going to be as good as any one of even the worst wrestlers on the roster. She's heard it all, that when other wrestlers were getting released, why are they getting released? Why is Maxine Dupree still here? What does this woman add to the roster? She ain't added nothing to add on. It's yada, 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 yada. And it's just well, damn. Oh, shit. I guess the well, damn was timed perfectly. It's just well, damn. Look at what she's done. Look at what she's done. She went through the Heart Dungeon, one of the most grueling training schools there is, and was able to become an absolute freaking amazing wrestler. She looks awesome in the ring. Again, it's against Becky, so you have to take it with a grain of salt and say, maybe she doesn't look this great against another competitor like Elira, who's still getting used to leading matches. Maybe she doesn't look this great against an Ivy Nile, who doesn't really have a lot of experience in leading matches. Maybe she doesn't look that great against a Nikki Bella, or even maybe a Stephanie Vauquer, or maybe even look that great against a Rhea Ripley. But as long as she looks good enough, I think that's what's going to matter. And I think it's really going to help her underdog story out a lot, especially against Becky Lynch, the woman that's been trying to keep her down for a long time now. And Becky Lynch's story has been keeping down other women because she believes that just because she's 37, 38 years old, that she shouldn't have to just put over other women, because look at the men. The men know how to do that. And Becky Lynch is 100% correct. And honestly, it's going to be a really great story of conflicting ideals in that, well, conflicting ideals. Conflicting ideals in the sense that, you're going to have people like myself and a lot of others that'll say, well, Becky Lynch is 100% correct. She shouldn't have to just put over other women because she is 37, 38 years old, when there's plenty of men that are in their 40s still on top. Cody Rhodes, you have Randy Orton that's still competing for titles. You have Drew McIntyre competing for titles. Seth Rollins is the world champion right now. You look at other companies, it's the exact same way. So it's like we're going to have that side of things. But then we're also going to have the other side of things of, look at Maxine Dupree, the woman that freaking literally came from being, no offense to Maxine Dupree if you come across this, a trash wrestler. Came from being a trash wrestler to a really dang good one. Someone that worked their ass off to be able to get to where they are now. We've seen that growth firsthand. We've seen her just be, Maxine Dupree, to being Maxine Dupree with Alpha Academy, to everything that she went through with Chad Gable, and everything that Alpha Academy went through with Chad Gable, and everything she went through recently with Becky Lynch. So it's like we're gonna have all of this, and it's just like it's so conflicting on who you actually want to win. And I think it's gonna set up to be a really, really awesome storyline. Then on the other side of things, though, you have AJ Lee with obviously the being one of the founders of the Revolution, if not, at least one of the big parts, especially around the Divas era. Then you have the fact that she's been gone for 10 years, injury, all kind of other things. You have not really the greatest storyline with her and Becky right now. I'm going to be real with you. I've already said it before, I don't really care for the storyline. Just kind of, Becky getting involved in CM Punk and Seth stuff because she didn't really like the CM Punk chants and all that stuff. And then AJ Lee comes back and all that. But you do have obviously the big return for AJ Lee. And it's just like, it's kind of more furthering that even older women can still get title shots, and they don't have to, take a back seat to the younger women, that they should still be able to, because this is their prime still. This is the men's prime, 35 to 40, or usually around like 33 to 40, usually a men's prime. Why can't that be a woman's prime as well? So you look at that from that perspective, and again, the whole 10 years off and all this stuff, and she's fought for all these things that women have nowadays. So she's finally gonna get these things: a mid-card belt, a main event match on a Mania as well, but on a PLE. So a lot of these things that she's fought for, they're now here. She deserves, now that she's back, to be able to eat some of that cake too. Then you have Bayley. Bayley and Becky have a storied rivalry with each other, going all the way back to NXT, going all the way back to 2019, 2019, when Bayley turned on Becky, and then eventually, by then aligning with Sasha Banks as well. Then you have just recently this year with Bayley getting taken out by Becky. We never really fully finished that storyline with each other because we gave Lyra the second match. We gave Lyra the next two matches. So it's like, could Bayley possibly get back into this whole entire thing? Could Bayley, after this whole entire manic thing that she's going through right now, could she eventually get back into the IC title scene? Maybe she goes to the world title scene instead, but could she get back to the IC title division and get that belt off of Becky Lynch? Really fulfilling what would be, especially if it happened this year, capping off what would be a really bad 2025 with at least a great way to end it. You missed Mania, you missed SummerSlam, you've had nothing but losses throughout the entire year. You've gotten some wins here and there. Finally got this big old character change, and it'd be a payoff for this big old character change, because the past few character changes didn't really give much great payoff, especially if Bayley has a really great storyline to follow. Getting the titles getting the title and then having a great run with it, be a really great payoff, because like I said, Kofi Kingston and them, not that great. John Cena, not that great. Wesley, not that great. So it's like, it would be really, really great for Bayley. I think the best one is Maxine Dupree. I think it is. Obviously, y'all already know this. I love AJ Lee. It's my undisputed GOAT, my never to be changed GOAT, unless she says something crazy. But that's my undisputed GOAT right there. Maxine Dupree, though, this is the ultimate underdog story. This is very Chad Gable, Gunther-esque, just with even better storyline, in my opinion, because this is I'm going to be real with you. I don't think you find a more underdog story than Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch. We're talking about one of the four horsewomen, one of the, Whether she is the greatest women's wrestler of all time or not, that's whatever. It's debatable. Obviously, it'll always be subjective of who the greatest is. But one of the greatest, like just one of the needle movers, one of the foundations for the women's division, for women's wrestling all around the world, inspiring plenty of women. Obviously, we know what she went through as well with her whole entire life, coming really from where Maxine Dupree came from and not really looking the greatest when she first got into WWE. She was doing a little tap dancing thing, and then she gets up to the main roster and turns into the Irish Last Kicker, and you're still kind of like, okay, you like it, but we need to see more from that than the man and the big time Bex, and now she's going back to the man and all that stuff. So it's like you're going up against a woman like this, an absolute powerhouse, an absolute dominant all-time great wrestler, versus a wrestler that we never even thought would look competent in the ring. We thought that nobody in their right mind would ever think that Maxine Dupree, at what she looked like last year and what she looked like earlier this year, would even have a 4-star match, let alone a 5-star match. Because this match with Becky Lynch was borderline 5-star matches. I mean, it was a borderline 5-star match against Becky Lynch. Like, this match was freaking awesome. So to think that she could have this kind of match blows my freaking mind. So when I look at it, I'm like, this has to be the woman. Everything that Becky has been doing to her, everything that Becky has been saying, this has to be the woman to dethrone Becky Lynch. Mind you, you can still do a lot of great things here where you have Maxine Dupree dethrone Becky Lynch. Then you eventually have Bayley go full-on heel to dethrone Maxine Dupree. Then you can have AJ Lee dethrone Bayley, which eventually leads to Roxanne Perez dethroning AJ Lee, which eventually leads to possibly Lyra getting the belt back, or Raquel or Liv or whoever they're going to get the belt from Roxanne Perez, not Deprez, but I am definitely Deprez when I see Roxanne Perez, because it's very sad what she's been looking like on the roster as of lately. If you feel me, It's been awful. Good God. So yeah, no, I 1000% would go with the Becky. I mean, with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is going to dethrone Becky Lynch. That's how it's going to work. If anybody's going to dethrone the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and it's not just me saying it, Sports Illustrated saying it, it's ESPN saying it, it's Wade Barrett saying it. Well, I mean, it's the whole world, the whole galaxy, the Martians, the aliens, your mama, your daddy, every goddamn God, and God, and all that stuff saying it. If anybody's going to dethrone her, it's got to be her. But to go from her to him, let's go talk about Takeshita to Himsta. Let's go talk about Himsta possibly dethroning either Okada or Zack Saber Jr. This is going to be an interesting topic, because when it comes to Takeshita, I think either route is great for him. I don't think any one of these routes, is a failure, but it also is similar to Momo Watanabe, in that you have Takeshita, who just won your G1 climax, similar to the freaking 5-star Grand Prix. If you don't know what those are, again, just tournaments, okay? Cool tournament, boom, win, yeah, all that stuff. But it's like, do you want to have both of them possibly lose? Because if Momo loses the 5-star Grand Prix and Takeshita loses the G1 climax, does that not look like a bit of a ugh? I mean, I guess with Takeshita, you could always have Okada interfere, seeing as how Takeshita and Okada are having like a big time rivalry, like right now it's starting to heat up more and more. So you could have Okada cost him. Do you want to do that though? Like, I mean, I don't know, because it's, for me, I think the thing is this: Takeshita is not a New Japan guy. If Takeshita was a New Japan guy, and Okada obviously being a New Japan guy as well. If Okada is costing Takeshita as a New Japan guy to a New Japan guy, yeah, it's going to look like, damn, you turned on our people. Like, this is our guy right here. Like, you turned on one of us. And with Zack Sabre Jr. obviously being a bit of an outsider, no, not a bit of an outsider. He is an outsider. He was a Rev Pro wrestler. It's like you're siding with like the outsiders, but then again, I think that would kind of fit Okada, because he did leave New Japan. He is signing with AEW, which would be the outsiders to New Japan, siding with the Don Callis family, which is an outsider to New Japan. So in a sense, it's not the craziest, I guess, to say that Okada could interfere in this match and cost Takeshita. It's just, again, do you want to have both of your big tournament winners losing this year? Do you want to have that? And I think with Takeshita, with Zack Sabre Jr. now getting a bit older, 38 now, it's like Takeshita's only 30. he could be the guy going forward for New Japan. He could be the guy to lead New Japan back into prominence once again. Don't you want to have that guy get the belts? But there's also the thing with AEW where you kind of need this goddamn unified belt off of Okada now. I'm sorry, it's not been a great run. The unified title hasn't been a great run. The Continental title has not been a great run either. He hasn't had a great run with these belts. They're very much so forgettable. We're going to forget about it. It's just like you need someone else there with the belt. And so I think Takeshita now becoming an even bigger star around the world, becoming a very much so loved wrestler, could be a big time baby face, obviously, because like Yuka Sakazaki said, he's a big baby. So he could be a big time baby face. We all absolutely love this guy. And I could see this leading to a Don Callis family, like a Don Callis family civil war that does definitely need to happen. Because I don't think Don Callis family needs to go into 2026 with all these dang wrestlers. Definitely need to just start sizing it down a little bit. And that'll also help the faces not have to have just feuds with the Don Callis family, because now they're in wars. They're not even feuding with them. I mean, they're not even, like, the Don Callis family won't even be focusing on them because they're trying to focus on fixing all this stuff up. So that might be really good as well. I don't know, man. It's like one guy needs to get dethroned. The other guy kind of needs to get thrown as well, because Zack Sabre Jr. is a bit older now. And I feel like for New Japan, you really need a younger guy like a Takeshita. I was gonna say like a Takeshita or somebody else, but like a Takeshita, just stay here. Like a Takeshita to dethrone Zack Sabre Jr. to be able to lead New Japan back into prominence. Could you have him get both? Could you have him? Because that's always been his goal, was bridging the gap between the DDT and New Japan and AEW, and really being able to bring all three companies together. So is there a world where you have Takeshita get the IWGP World Championship? You have him get the Unified Championship. You have him defend both of those belts on a regular, not like a super regular basis, but like on like a semi-regular basis, where he focuses on one at one time, focuses on the other another time, goes back and back. Do you have him do that? It's a lot of work. And you've been having this guy do a lot of work over these past, 2 years. He's been wrestling in DDT. He's been wrestling in New Japan. He's been wrestling in AEW. He's been kind of wrestling a bit of everywhere in a sense. So it's like, do you have this guy go, do you have him keep doing this? I mean, he's only 30, so his body isn't breaking down by any means. But I don't know, man. I think that's very, very risky, especially if you're AEW and New Japan. Your top guy has a belt where he's going to be constantly going back and forth between both companies, and possibly between even DDT and other companies as well. I don't know, but that would be a really cool moment, I would say, to have him holding both AEW's unified title and then New Japan's IWGP World title and going back to DDT with both belts. Like I think that would be a really, really awesome moment that would be one of those like iconic moments in history, like the Ultimo Drago pick, the Daniel Bryan holding both the belts pick. Now this belt as well, or this moment as well, would be a great one. Becky Lynch holding both belts too. The Mercedes, or like a Sasha and Bianca pick at WrestleMania 37, 38, something like that. I think 37. But like a lot of like great picks here. This could be a great one as well. This could be great picks, great moments. This could be a very great moment for Japanese wrestling and for AEW as well, to just almost solidify that in a sense, and really just keep that partnership for years to come. So I'm actually going to say I think Takeshita should get both belts. I think Takeshita should get both belts specifically for what his goal was, which was, bridging the gap. I think that's the route you go, because it's like, I think he has to dethrone both guys. Saber and Okada need to get dethroned. This could also lead to Zack Sabre Jr. going to AEW if he really wants to, or possibly even just kind of chilling and just taking some time off from wrestling and stuff like that. He's been a big time star. Maybe he goes to WWE. I don't think that's, I don't think it's not a possibility, but I don't know. I feel like if he was going to go, he would have already went, but I don't know. But speaking of WWE, though, two wrestlers at least who have been in WWE from this next one. Still speaking of dethronings, by the way. Who should dethrone Athena? Sareee or Alex Windsor? So this I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna spoil anything that happened this past Thursday. But I'm gonna say this coming Thursday. But I'm gonna say this. I am going to picture this match happens after Momo Watanabe dethrones Sareee. I'm going to live in this world where Sareee is no longer the world champion, the IWGP Women's World Champion. It's Sareee and Alex Windsor, who are both great competitors for Athena, to get the ROH World title off of her so she can go on to AEW and go do big things in AEW or wherever the heck she decides to go afterwards, because we don't even know what's happening with the contract, to be honest. So I'm going to say this happens at Final Battle. And I think they're both great. They're both great. They're both great choices. Sareee and Alex Windsor are both still pretty much young women. I think Alex Windsor is 30, 31. Sareee is 29, I think about to be 30 or just turned 29, one of the two. I didn't look fully into it. I just seen their ages. So it's like, out of context, that's crazy. You know, that's why I hated streaming on Twitch. I've been getting a lot of just clipped moments, and they're just not the greatest in the world. They're not the greatest in the world at all. Oh, my gosh. But I think, like, both of these women would be great for ROH because, in a sense, Sareee would be able to go to ROH and kind of, because she's this big-time star, it's going to allow AEW, it's going to allow Tony Khan to go from Athena, big-time star, to Sareee, big-time star as well. Same thing with Alex Windsor. Both of these women are great choices. This is why I think they're the two choices who should. There is one other choice that I will talk about in a minute after these two women, but that other choice, we got to see how that's going to go. It's a little interesting with that one. But I just wonder what happens with Alex Windsor, because how long do you keep her in ROH? After you've had her in AEW, it's clear that she's very much so beloved by a lot of AEW wrestlers. I thought she was going to be the one to throw Mercedes Moné. I don't even know if that's still going to be happening now. I did make a whole video on who I think should be the next 5 TBS champions. That video will be dropping the same day as this podcast episode, so make sure you check that out. It's also on my Patreon as well if you want to go check that too. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know with these two women. It's so weird because it's like Alex in a sense shouldn't be relegated to ROH. I don't think she should. And I'm not saying that ROH is like a step. It's a step down. No, it's a step down. I don't think that she should have to go from AEW down to ROH just to, you are holding a world championship, to be fair. So there is that. It's not like as if you're going down to ROH to just hold like a tag team belt or something like that. You're holding the dang ROH Women's World Championship after Athena just held it for 1,000 days. And both of these women would be great faces to hold that belt, even though Sareee is a bit of a cocky face. I did not realize how much of a shit talker Sareee is, and I've become a very big fan of her because she is a very big shit talker. And I love shit talkers, and I love petty people too. So it's like, obviously both of these women give Athena a great match. Like there's nothing really that's bad about either one of these women, because with Sareee, they're not gonna care if she can't speak if she can't speak fluent English and all that stuff. People just want to see Sareee have great matches, and that's what ROH is all about, just having great, awesome matches. Alex Windsor can do the exact same thing. I just wonder if both of these women would be better for AEW women's roster because you have the women's tag belts. And should you possibly go with the other choice, which is the young upstart Billie Starkz? Should you go with the woman who's been under Athena for X amount of days, for almost 2 years now, under Athena, who has had 2 matches against Athena, could not get over Athena in either one of these matches, had the Final Battle match last year where it looked like she was going to get over? Do you have, at Final Battle this year, Billie Starkz finally say, I want one more shot? I can take you down. Does Tony Khan see potentially Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch and say, I'm going to do that exact same thing with Billie Starkz and Athena? Does he say that? Because these companies are petty and they watch each other and they copy each other to a freaking T. Does he say that? I could see a world where he does. I could see a world where he's like, yes, let me do that exact same thing with a super freaking dominant mega champion that doesn't look like she could be dethroned by anybody. That doesn't even look like she could be dethroned by the damn gods, even if I didn't book this match. Do I have this woman get dethroned by the woman that she is not, well, she's inexperienced in a sense, like she hasn't been wrestling for that many years, especially like the professionals, but she obviously isn't, a Sareee or an Alex Windsor. She's not on their level. But maybe that's what it could take, is that Athena overlooks Billie Starkz once again because she's already beaten her multiple times. And that's what causes Athena to slip. That's what causes her to slip up, and you have Billy Starks get the belt. Could you do a fatal 4-way where you have Billy, Sareee, Athena, Windsor, all three of the other women are looking down on Billy Starks, not focused on her at all, and Billy Starks gets the kind of like the sneak win? Could you do that? Could you just have an absolutely awesome triple threat of Athena, Sareee, and Windsor at Final Battle, and one of them gets the belt there? I could see any one of these possibilities, to be honest. I think with Sareee and Windsor, you're just going from a superstar to a superstar. But now I guess my question would be, if you have Athena drop the belt to Alex Windsor or Sareee, who are just as great of wrestlers, I think, how long do you have them hold the belt? Because are we going with another 1,000-day reign? No offense. I love Athena. I don't want to see any more 1,000-day reigns. I don't want to see any more. I think every company should have at least 1,000-day reign, but like 1,000-day reign is basically more or less enough for like the next 20 years. We don't need to see another 1,000-day reign in ROH. I'm gonna be for real with you, and it kind of look around the cusp of a couple of them with Lee Moriarty possibly. And I guess technically Red Velvet if her reign continues, because she was like at like 370 something. Not really sure how that works though. But it's like I don't need to see another 1,000-day reign. But if you have Sareee or Alex Windsor defeat Athena, how do you not say they have to have a 1,000-day reign? How do you not say that? That's why I think you go with Billy Starks, because Billy Starks is a person that could beat Athena. She's not the most credible. She's not on Athena's level or Saree's level or Alex Windsor's level, and then you have her eventually just drop it in a couple of months to somebody else. I think that could be better, because then you're not having to feel so forced into giving Sareee or Windsor a year-long reign, a 2-year-long reign, a 3-year-long reign. Like, you're not so forced into doing it. So I'm going to go with Billy Starks. I think if anybody gets the belt off of Athena, it should be Billy. It should be Billy. I don't think we need to run back another 1,000-day reign. Speaking of running things back, though, oh, my God, man. Oh, my God. They done somehow did it again, and this time it actually looks kind of good. WWE is running back the Bloodline story. Wow, my eyes are really closed. This light is bright as shit. There we go. WWE looks like they're running back the Bloodline story again. I don't know how we allowed WWE to get away with this. I don't know how they keep doing this. It's just like when this Bloodline story should be done. There we go. We're gonna do it again. You ended it at WrestleMania 40? No. That's what you thought. Bloodline. Well, like freaking, let's see, Jay, Jimmy, and Roman was 1.0. Then you add in Sammy. You add in Solo, that's 2.0. Then Sammy was 3.0. Then you add it, then you break it off into Solo and Tama Tonga. It's 4.0. I mean, I guess, do you want to count all these, or do you want to count like the original Bloodline with all the other 5 guys, and now this is Bloodline 2.0? I don't really know, but let's say Bloodline 2.0. You got Bloodline 2.0. Then you got the MFTs. Then you got the OG Bloodlines back at the Bloodlines. Oh my God, man, how the hell did we do this, bruh? It's been 5 years, going on 6. How much longer are they going to do this fuck-ass Bloodline storyline? It's so bad. Oh, my God, man. I mean, it looks fine right now, but they still got the MFTs going on, too. Oh, my gosh. I don't know, man. This is getting ridiculous. It's good though. Like, I like the whole Jay thing that's happening right now, with Jay possibly turning heel and all that stuff, or Jay turning into like a mini Roman. What's gonna happen with Jimmy? Is Roman gonna be like more in like an MVP type role, where he's more like that managerial type of role, where he's he's trying to really just push Jay and Jimmy, or is he just gonna be manipulating Jay to eventually get the belt off of Jay, because he already knows he could beat him because he's beaten him multiple times? Is that what he's trying to do? Is that his end goal? I don't know. Roman doesn't look like he wants world titles, because he could have gotten a world title match against Cody, but he didn't want it. He just wanted to deal with everybody else. And then he's like, let me go to the freaking titles game. And he's like, wait, hold on, actually, let me go to the Royal Rumble. You know what? Let me go ahead and start fighting Seth and Punk. Let me just focus on these guys. And then he comes back, and it's like Seth's right there, but he doesn't go after Seth. He says, you know what? Let me go fight the Seth Riders. Let me go fight Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And so I was like, what? Seth's right there though. Go fight him. Seth needs new competitors. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where Roman's going. I don't know what's on Roman's mind. But they're running it back, and it's like, can it be good? Can it? I mean, look how it was in 2023 and 2024. Now it's this time once again. It's Roman manipulating Jay, but, Jay's like real. Well, no, Jay's kind of like, well, the first time he wasn't into it because obviously he was forced into it because of what happened with Jimmy. But, like, Jimmy never wanted to be a part of the first Bloodline. Well, he did want to be. He didn't want to be under Roman. He wanted to be, like, falling in line with Roman. And then you have Jay, and Jay's, manipulated, and eventually he wants to be like that and all that stuff. So it's like, I don't. Is it much different? Is it much different than what already happened besides just, Jay this time more willing? But that's not much different. That's just a little different. Jay's just more willing to be a freaking bad guy. So it's like, I don't. And Jimmy's still his brother's keeper. Jimmy's still just doing things because Jay's getting attacked and all that stuff. So Jimmy super kicks CM Punk because he attacks Jay. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's much different. If it's not much different, what's the difference this time? We're just gonna have Roman not be the tribal, Roman still be a tribal chief, but not like the wrestler. I don't know, man. I think it could be good. I think it could be. My only issue is that we said the Seth Rollins could be good. I was two hands stroking this, two hand glazing. Not stroke. Goodness gracious, so descriptive. I was two hand glazing the Seth Rollins when it first happened, man. I was like all here for it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be absolutely amazing. It's gonna be a fire. And then boom, a couple months later, not even a couple months later, a couple weeks later. Oh shit. Oh my gosh, man. So it's like, the Bloodline 2.0, 3.0, whatever freaking .0 it is now, probably 4.0 at this point, or the Bloodline 1.0 rebooted. I don't know what you want to call it. Oh, we're gonna do like how Madden 25 has Madden 25 and then Madden 25. That's what we're gonna do, huh? Man, it's something. It's the OG Blood. I don't know. Part 2. It's a freaking sequel. It's just like, I think it can look good at the start. But then what happens going into next year? Are we fighting the exact same faces again? Because it's Seth that's feuding with Punk and LA Knight. And now it's Jay that's feuding with Punk and LA Knight. So what the hell happens? What happens? Is it the same thing again? Of, hey, we'll give Jay the World Heavyweight title, and then we're going to have a feud with Punk and LA Knight. There's nobody else to feud with? Are we finally gonna do that whole headhunter, the headhunter storyline with Drew McIntyre, where he goes after all the Bloodline? Does his feud with Jacob Fatu cause him to eventually? Does he lose it, and then, or does he win it and go after the Bloodline? Is that what happens? And then Drew goes back to being like a face, and he gets the title off of Jay. I don't really know. Oh man, I think it can be good. I'm trying to be optimistic, y'all, but I just was optimistic about the Seth Riders, and that went that way. So it's like, I was optimistic about Solo and Jacob's run, and those went that way. I've been optimistic about a lot of things, and they just have not gone the way that they're supposed to go. So I'm going to say this. I'm interested, but I'm not bought in. I need to see the moment when everything comes together and they are officially labeled the Bloodline again. I need to see that moment and what that looks like. I'm not living off these little moments right here where Jay and Jimmy are doing this and Jay and Roman are talking and all that. No. I need to see the big time moment and where it all happens. And then I will be fully bought in. But speaking of these storylines, though, let's go ahead and talk about the best storyline in wrestling to me. Let's make that clear. ASHE. Yeah. Okay. There's obviously a lot of great storylines going on right now. I'm going to kind of go company by company with it. Talking about NXT first. You have Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. That storyline's technically still going on. It's fairly good. It's not anything that's like blowing me away by any means. I don't really care. The fact, like, the storyline itself is, let me say this. And this might get me canceled. So I mean, I don't really care. My thing when it comes to people who have an issue with certain storylines, I think people have to remember that this is fiction and that the stuff that the wrestlers are saying and the stuff the wrestlers are doing is not necessarily stuff that they would do. I don't think Blake Monroe would go around fat shaming women. I don't think that she would do that. Or I guess body shaming women, my bad. I don't think she would go around body shaming women. I don't think she probably would even care what other women's bodies look like. I think she probably just cares about herself, and that's really it. So I think anybody that's like pissed off by the fact that she's body shaming other women, I think that's where you kind of have to remove your real world PC lens for a second, Justice Warrior lens for a second, and understand that this is a story. Same way with Gunther and the street trash thing with Damian Priest. That was a story. Stories are going to have things that aren't okay. Stories are going to have things like body shaming, like racism, like homophobia, like transphobia. Like the stories are going to have all of this. And it's okay to have, because stories are a picture of real life. People get invested in stories because they see things they see in real life, things that they feel very strongly for in real life, and they find them in stories, and they're like, oh, I'm invested in that. I don't like that that's happening. I want to see what's going to happen as a result of this. So Jordynne Grace going over Blake Monroe was great because she was being body shamed. I personally have said before I didn't like how it was kind of like downgrading Blake Monroe's character in a sense. That's my biggest issue with it. But I think the storyline was pretty good. Regardless. The TNA NXT Invasion storyline, I do not care for that shit in the slightest. It is trash. It is awful. And it's basically just a bunch of NXT wrestlers and like a handful of TNA wrestlers only on the men's side. It's so bad. So yeah, those like the biggest ones with NXT right now that I can at least think of. There's not really like there's Soul and Zarya, but this storyline has been stretched out for far too long now. One of my mutuals, original Zodiac. You can check him out on social media and stuff like that. He's kind of said the same thing. I feel like it's kind of like watering down the North American title because there's not really much happening with Sol Ruka in the North American title because she's not really doing much with it. And I to an extent agree as well. I don't think the storyline is what's bringing it down. I think that it's just Sol Ruka herself is bringing it down because she's a one move merchant. Oh well, two to three move merchant. Really just two move merchant. The Sasuke special and the dang Soul Snatcher. So there's not much going on right there. Men's side of things, I like Ethan Page's storyline, like just turning like the North American title into like the Canadian title and all that. I just feel like he should have lost, I guess, to oh gosh, what's his name? Nope, I'm blanking on his name. I am blanking horribly on his name. He was with Tavion Heights, there we go. I think he probably should have lost to Tavion Heights, seeing as how he was like the major heel in that storyline, and he was really, really talking bad about America. And mind you, I don't freaking care, to be honest. Talk about it all you want. But it felt like as if it was going in a direction of like Tavion Heights getting the belt off of him. And like then Ethan Page going to the main roster and possibly getting the U.S. title off of Sami Zayn and doing the exact same thing, joining a group with the Secret Service and all that, with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. I thought that's the direction they were going in. So I guess not. So we gotta see where it's going. I don't know where the hell it's going, to be honest. So there's that storyline as well. That was a pretty good one too. I thoroughly liked that one. Now we have Raw, where right now we have a few interesting storylines. We have Bayley and Lyra, and I'm gonna be real with you. This storyline is kind of stupid to me in the sense of why does Lyra care so much about Bayley? Like other than like Bayley like mentoring her at times, which I'm sorry, this is my thing that I hate with sometimes with wrestling. Just because someone's the mentor doesn't mean this has to be used in every single storyline to excuse poor storytelling. Okay, yes, Bayley has mentored Lyra, so has plenty of other women in WWE. Lyra has also been costed on multiple different occasions now, the IC title, because of Bayley. So why the hell would she be cool with Bayley to a point where she's trying to fix Bayley? Like, what, because she feels guilty? I mean, it's not on you, though, that Bayley is going batshit crazy because... Like, I don't really get it, to be honest. I don't know. It's odd to me. So it's like I'm having a hard time really liking the storyline because of that oddity right there. And I don't really know where they're going with Bayley's character now. Like, at first I was really, really enjoying it. And now I just feel like this, like, back and forth thing is, like, just, it's every single week. And there's not really any promos from her to talk. There's not really any, like, kind of, Lyra trying to, like, really dig into what the hell's going on with Bayley. It's just kind of, like, surface level in a sense. So I'm not the most invested into it. It's kind of just there for me right now. So yeah, no, I'm sorry. I can't really get the most invested into it anymore. Rhea, Io, Asuka, and Kairi is another storyline that a lot of people are interested in. And look at y'all. You have to understand this right now. I'm a storyteller. I am a storyteller at heart. I study storytelling on a daily. And for me, if something doesn't make sense, I just can't rock with it. And that's just my brain. And you're going to have to understand that it's not hate. It's just criticisms. Not everything is hate. I still enjoy things that are happening in the Bayley Lyra stuff. I still enjoy things that are happening in the Rhea, Io, Asuka. I don't like you on. Oh, it's because Bianca has a damn triple threat. The Rhea, Io, Asuka, Kairi stuff. But my issues with it are, as I've always said, why is Asuka talking about family when she literally said that damage control was done? That to me felt like as if the family was done. Asuka and Kairi also did not help Io multiple times when she was having issues. So it's like, where's this family thing at? But then you also have, on the other side of things, Rhea and Io's super connection to Rhea, when it's like, Rhea was disrespecting you multiple times before WrestleMania this year. She's cost you multiple matches as well. She was willing to basically just do whatever she could at Evolution to absolutely destroy you and take that belt off of you. She was willing to bring bodily harm to you. So it's like, I don't think I'd be cool with somebody like that, but okay. So yeah, that's just kind of me on that one. So it's like Io fighting so hard to be cool with Rhea is odd to me. I don't fully get it. And then Io not wanting to like rock with Asuka and Kairi, even though Rhea's done these things, it's like, it's also weird to me as well. I would think that you would want to rock with them, seeing as how, they've at least protected you more. Both of them were also hurt, so that's why they couldn't really fully help you, but they also did help you in a lot of other ways. Asuka's been okay, this one has been mentioned in storylines at least. Asuka is the reason why Io is even in, has a path to WWE. She's a mentor to her. She's an inspiration to her. She's literally been a tag team wrestler. She's been in a team with her in Japan. She's been with a team with her in WWE as well. So she's been mentoring her a lot. So it's like, I think that one is kind of, I don't know. That's another one where it's just like, unless Io turns heel, which I believe she will, I can't get fully invested into the storyline. I can't get fully invested into it just yet. But right now, I am somewhat invested into it. I already talked about the Jay stuff and all that. I will say I'm interested, but I'm not bought into it. Same thing with the Io Rhea stuff. I need to get a bit more bought into it before I can fully say I'm loving it. Hope I don't get copyrights. Seth Riders, you got me fucked up if you think I'm investing into anything that's going on with the Seth Riders right now. Besides Seth and Cody, I am loving every single second of Seth and Cody. I'm loving the whole thing of, were you really my friend? I was never your friend. The whole thing with Seth saying, I gave everything for you and you went and still rocked with Roman afterwards, even though I did X, Y, Z. Cody trying to figure out like who really is in charge. Is it Seth? Is it Paul? What's up with Seth and Brock? I mean, what's up with Brock and Paul? Obviously with Seth and Brock's history. I like a lot of Cody and Seth. I like the promo tonight from Seth and Heyman, where Heyman's telling him that you better win this or else you lose the locker room, you lose Braun, you lose Bronson, you're going to lose me. I love all of that right there. So that one, I'm super invested in. This Cody-Seth storyline going into Crown Jewel. I hate that I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm in California, but it's going to be awesome. God, I really need to move to like the East Coast, man. I feel like everything, it's like the East Coast is like on perfect timing. It sounds like late night stuff though, because then no, it's like at 8 o'clock at night. It's not that bad actually. Damn, maybe I do need to move to the East Coast because then, like, I could be. Nah, it's not, hell, that's a lot of recording late at night, though. Never mind. No. I need to stay on the West Coast. West Coast is perfect for me. But you have that storyline. And then on SmackDown, child, I ain't interested in any of that bullshit over there. There ain't a damn thing for me to be invested in at all in the slightest. Nothing on the men's side, nothing on the women's side. Obviously, Cody and Seth, but, like, yeah, no. Other than that, I'm not invested in anything that's happening over there. The Drew Jacob stuff, no. The Damian Alistair stuff, no. Alistair's a criminal, though. We're going to make sure that man gets arrested. Attacking my guy, Damian Priest, for no reason with a double black mask, man. What the hell are we doing here? Oh, my bad. Double black mask. Yeah, no, I'm not really invested in the Y6 stuff. Hell no. Montez Ford and their, like, possible breakup with the Street Profits thing. Somewhat. But we've seen this storyline like 15 times now, man. Either they're gonna break up or they're not. At this point, I don't know, man. It's like a couple that just either just don't know how to break up. In AEW, right now, it's probably just the women's blood and guts stuff. The women's blood and guts. The Demand and the Hurt Syndicate, I'm fully invested in as well. Just like the Cody and Seth stuff, I'm fully invested in that. The women's blood and guts match, I'm fully invested into that as well. I've been loving the build up, and we're finally getting the dang payoff. Of this whole entire thing, we are getting the blood and guts match. Likely going to be Tony, Jamie, Chris, Harley, and Queen Aminata versus Triangle of Madness and Mega Man Penelope Ford. We could also see Willow Nightingale getting this match. They better not take out Queen Aminata for Willow, though. I love you, Willow, but no, we're not doing that. Hell no. Harley Cameron can get her ass on out of there. Then if we're going to do this, we're not taking out Queen Aminata after this amazing 2025. And if she's taken out from this, I'm going to be pissed. I am going to be livid. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So I will say I'm invested into that as long as Queen Aminata stays involved, because she's been involved since the beginning of this whole entire thing. So I'm invested into that for now. Okada Takeshita, the hardest part of me being invested in is the freaking match. It's just the match. Is it going to be good? That's what, like, how do I word this? Imagine if an author gave you 5 books, and the beginning, middle, up to the end of the books are awesome. And then the ending sucks every single time. And then here comes the 6th book. You can't be invested into this book. That's the problem for me with Okada and Takeshita, is I'm not invested into the match that is going to happen, because I've seen Okada time and time again have great storylines. The Buddy stuff was pretty good. The Brody stuff was pretty good. The Speedball stuff was pretty good. The Kenny Omega stuff was really good. The Kota Ibushi, obviously adding in Kota Ibushi, looked really good. And then here comes this fuck-ass match to be bad. Bad or just no life to the match at all. So for me, with anything Okada related, the match I have to see before I could say the story would even be great. Trying to think of, like, how would I say with ROH, because ROH doesn't really have much stories. It's like, I mean, you have some things like St. Taylor Promotions getting the belts, but like that was kind of like the way they got the belts kind of was. I wish they would have got it at the show before All In. Would have been a lot better. Athena's story kind of has gotten a bit stale. She's 1,000 days. She's beating everybody. Need to get this drop this damn belt already. Mine just happens all the time. Everybody has like 1,000+ days. It's eventually gonna get stale. But Saya's storyline, not really. I gotta see how Saya and Momo continues to play out. And that's the hard part with Stardom, though, is that like they don't have weekly shows, so you can't add anything to it. New Japan, I'm interested in Takeshita. I'm interested, I guess, in just Takeshita and like what he's gonna be doing with Zack Sabre Jr. and Okada. How's that whole entire thing gonna play out? Don Callis family, I'm kind of interested in as well, with the amount of stuff that's happened, like with the amount of wrestlers they now have there. What does this big old payoff result in? Because we've seen a lot of civil wars take place, and basically none of them have been good. So, because of that, it's like, I don't know, once again. Death Rider stuff is still pretty interesting, I will say that. Oh, the Darby Moxley stuff is amazing. I'm loving that as well. I am absolutely loving that. So I would say, like, for me right now, it's Seth and Cody, Darby Moxley, the Demand and the Hurt Syndicate, and then the Women's Blood and Guts match. And I think the women's tag belts as well. It might sound odd for me to be invested into Charlotte and Alexa, but I know the payoff should be good enough at least. I feel like it should be good enough. I think Alexa or Charlotte goes heel, one of the two. Honestly, whoever goes heel for me is not a problem. I think whoever goes heel, I'm perfectly fine with. If Alexa goes heel, we're getting probably Goddess Alexa back, or at least like a much better version of Alexa than this dang like child character that she's playing. Or we'll have Charlotte go heel, and Charlotte's a pretty damn good heel. So I'm invested in all of these, to be honest. I would say the best one out of all of them, well, y'all can't call me a mark anymore. It's Cody Seth. I am 100% invested in Cody and Seth. I think, like, especially with what like Seth and Heyman's dynamic. We haven't seen this with Paul Heyman before, where he's really like saying like, yo, you better go get your shit out there. Like he's showing that he doesn't fully believe in Seth yet. That he's seen, Seth need a bit more help than the other guys around him. And so that while he may be the smartest guy in the room, he ain't the strongest guy in the room, and this does hurt him. Whereas, Roman and the Rapist, they're the much stronger guys. Then you have CM Punk, who's very much so cunning, but also very, technical with it as well. Seth is kind of in a place where he's a bit breaking down a bit, so he's not the same guy he once was. So I really, really like the dynamic between Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. And then, obviously, like I said, Seth and Cody stuff, I'm absolutely loving as well. I think it is awesome. All friends talk about that stupid-ass storyline, the Miz and Melo storyline. I don't know why you did the breakup already, but all right, then I guess I would put titles on them at least. I'm going to talk about that storyline another day as well. I think I have a video on it coming soon. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the Seth and Cody storyline. I'm loving that the most right now. I think it's been really, really damn good. I can't wait to see this match because I know Cody and Seth are gonna tear the freaking house down. That's why I'm gonna be up so damn early on Saturday, because I will be watching that match for sure. It is gonna be absolutely awesome. But that's going to be from me, though, y'all. I definitely hope y'all did enjoy this episode. As always, if you did, drop a like, subscribe, and the notification bell for more links. Everything will be in the description below. Obviously, if you want to come stop by the Twitch, definitely hit that description as well. We go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Oh, crap. I got to edit this episode. Damn it. Oh, man. It's already 11 o'clock, I think. Yeah, it's already freaking 11:19. Damn. But yeah, no, we go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, usually like later in the day. It's around like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. PST, somewhere around there. Maybe like a little 7 p.m. PST. 7 p.m. PST on Tuesdays because of NXT and stuff like that, and Title Tuesday Dynamite. So, I might have to go live a little earlier actually, or maybe not Tuesday. Maybe not Tuesday because of all the stuff I'll be doing. So maybe Wednesday we'll go live instead, because Dynamite won't be airing on Wednesday. Yeah, unless Collision airs on a Wednesday. I don't know when Collision airs. So if it airs Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll put it up on the screen right now to let y'all know when I'll be live next on Twitch. Just because obviously my priority is TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. So I will let y'all know exactly when I'll be going live over there. So yeah, no. That's going to be for me, though, y'all. Y'all have a great one. Peace out, everybody. It's all my Patreon subs. Much freaking love. It's a big old freaking kiss for your forehead. Peace out, y'all.